What's up, guys? How we doing?
We're doing great. How are you doing? 17-4 win last night. Obviously, everybody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to get concerned about this past weekend, which obviously in my mind, there's no concern. There's no concern. I think that's the way y'all feel. We had Kate Anderson on the show on Monday. He echoed those sentiments. He basically said that the team is extremely close. The camaraderie with the guys on the team and the makeup of the guys on the team, they're ready to get back out on the field, which they obviously showed last night. Before we get to Mississippi State, before we get to last night, this past weekend, I don't think that y'all played obviously terrible baseball. Y'all played great on Friday. Y'all had halfway through the game on Saturday. Maybe some walks, more walks than you wanted on Saturday. And then Sunday was a Sunday game, 6-2, had opportunities. What's your take on the weekend before we move forward to previewing Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think Friday night seems like a long time ago, but honestly, one of the best games I've had a team play here, and we've played a lot of great games in the 3 years and 6 weeks that I've been here. I thought we were outstanding. Obviously had Kate on. He was great. Showed why he's one of the best pitchers in the country. Zach came in and did what Zach does. Played clean defense. Got some big hits. Really executed offensively at a high level. And then early in the game Saturday, I thought we did a really good job again with Harrison and put ourselves in a good position. And it's a good lineup, man. And that third time through, they were on it. Galvan is really hot. He's hit like 8 homers in the last 10 games, and he got us for a big swing. And we were trying to avoid, him hitting with as many guys on base as possible. And he got a big hit. And then Derek Curiel immediately responds and hits a 2-run homer. And it's 7-6, and we hadn't lost in a month. And so guys are locked in and competing their rear ends off. And Connor Binge, I thought, came in and did a really good job for us. We needed a bridge right there, and he did it. And then I still don't know how Flores hit that ball out. Really good swing to tie the game. So credit to him. And then obviously we couldn't quite hold it there, and it's a little tougher when you're on the road. Yep. And credit Texas, they came back, played a good game, and then Sunday we lost 6-2 to a top 5 team at their place, in front of a hostile crowd. I don't have any problem with how we competed in the game. Really our first game in over a month offensively where we weren't as good as we have been. Pretty incredible run of good offensive baseball by our team. And then packed it up, came home, and short memory, and right back at it last night. Played good, and we're on tomorrow night, national television. So here we go.
Coach, as a player, and I don't know if you feel the same way as a coach, but some of the guys that we've spoken to feel the same way. After a weekend like that, when you feel like, we had some games we probably could have played a little bit better than we wanted to. I always wanted to get back on the field as quickly as possible, right? You play on Sunday, off on Monday, play on Tuesday, and then you get this day off, and you got the game on Thursday. Did you like how that schedule, after coming off that loss, did you like that you get back on the field and get after it again?
Yeah, I mean, the best place for me to be is on the field.
Right.
You know what I mean? During this time of year. And it's the players, I mean, they're the ones executing in the games. They definitely feel that way. And, we don't have total control over the schedule.
Right.
I think if you look at the totality of the weeks, I mean, we're on Thursdays 4 times because everybody wants to see the Tigers on national television.
Damn right.
And that's a great thing. And, I didn't really think much about it. I think probably how we operate with them was my thoughts of, okay, we have to take Monday off regardless. Just the intense series. It was hot on Sunday. Need a little bit of a breather, so they were refreshed last night. We did a little bit more before the game yesterday than maybe we normally do, just, because we didn't practice on Monday. It was a 7-inning game, but it seemed late. Like, I didn't go to bed till like 1:30 that night.
What happens when you score 17?
Yeah, sign me up for that every time,
No doubt.
And then,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then this, a little quick. That's okay. It's just a little quicker turnaround. And we have some really important players. Like, I'm watching closely how we manage their bodies and their load. Like, and I'm talking more position players. So it was very condensed today. We've been a good practice team to this point in this year of getting done what we need to get done efficiently. Kind of in my past, I've been more like, hey, more is better on the field all the time. Make sure they know it. But we got some guys playing some high leverage positions that are taking on a heavy load, that are very skilled players. So I want to make sure their bodies and minds are sharp. So we're a little shorter today. And then now we as coaches don't quite have the same buffer to get ready. So it's a little more intense in terms of time intensive here over the next 24 hours. But that's about it.
Yeah.
And, I think the whole country watches our game tomorrow night. That's awesome.
That's awesome. I can't wait. Jared, you got a question?
Yeah, Coach. I'm not saying this because the series was lost 2-1. I genuinely want to know stuff like this. When there's stuff you have no control over when the season starts. One of those things is the schedule. When you go into an environment like that, and from my own, I'm not saying this is what you thought. I don't personally think it was super hostile, but it is a road SEC game. So when you go into an environment like that against another talented team who's rolling, you would love to go into a season and run the table. That'll never happen. It's never started. It'll never happen. But when you lose a series like that on the road early on with a young SEC team yourself, in the back of your mind, are you kind of sitting here thinking like, these are some of these lessons I need these guys to be able to catch on to earlier than later, because you're going to need those experiences later in the season?
Yeah, I definitely think there's something to that. Part of the deal here is we treat this season like a 56-game playoff, and I want everybody to know they're getting our best all the time. Like every single game matters. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, conference, non-conference, doesn't matter. And I thought our guys competed fine, in the weekend. There was a couple things that we needed to do better to beat a team of that caliber. As far as the environment thing, I'm pretty immune to it. I've had really good success playing at Texas. I'd never lost a game in that stadium until Saturday night. And when they hit the home run to go ahead 6-5, it was the first time I really felt like, hey, it's loud, they're into it, that kind of thing.
I agree with that.
He responded and scored 2 runs, which I thought was great. And again, veteran lineup. We've played those guys here the last 2 years. We've played them 2 years in a row prior to this year in non-conference. A lot of the same players. They're experienced. They've been through their highs and lows as well. And, they weren't rattled by losing a game or getting behind in a game. And they gave us their best shot. And then Sunday, they got a good pitching performance, really good pitching performance. And those guys got some clutch hits. So, does it help us? I think so. And, something, my kind of personal commitment, I would say, for this year is when you have something not go well or the way you want it to, or quote unquote adversity, is how can I turn that into a positive for our team? And that's all that we're doing with what we gathered from the weekend.
Coach, how many baseball games have you been a part of where you saw a curtain call in the 5th inning?
What do you mean?
On Saturday, when you said it got as raucous as it's been, he got a GD curtain call. That's why it got loud. I'm sure you were somewhere else. I'm sure you were doing your deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lloyd saw it, and Lloyd's been asking it all week. I've seen it. He didn't love that, obviously.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, you're not
it's not Lou Gehrig.
You're not used to hitting homers. I get it. It's fine. They're not, not used to those moments.
Hey, you know what, though? And I don't even mind this, and I'm sure we rub everybody the wrong way when some of our guys do stuff, but players love celebrating today.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Whatever.
Yeah, have fun.
I don't
Yeah.
I can coach. I only can coach one team, so I didn't even know that.
No, right.
There's
right.
nothing more wholesome than what y'all do. Just a good old thumbs up.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job. 2 thumbs up. It's always good when you do that. Coach,
what is the story behind that? Have any of the guys told you that?
We haven't. You know what? The next guy we got on, we're gonna ask him that because I don't know the story.
Okay.
I don't know the story.
Now he's doing our job.
Yeah. Now look, I appreciate you for doing Lloyd's job and producing our show.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Pulse of the team.
Coach, I was told that you actually told them all, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do this thing. No, I'm just
I'm sure they're trying to make fun of me in some way.
I'll find out and I'll report back to you for sure. Coach, you talked about some of these, or Jared asked a question about some of these learning lessons early on in the season. One of those guys who obviously is going to be a big contributor to the team, guy who's ultra talented, He's had a welcome to the SEC moments a couple times early on, and William Schmidt comes in, throws, gets behind a couple counts, gives up the 3-run homer. He throws last night out of the bullpen. Two-part question to this. One, how important are these early failures for his development later on, right? Obviously, everybody wants to be perfect all the time. That's not the reality of it. And two, pitching him out of the bullpen on last night, is that a way to get him more comfortable coming out of the bullpen? Because I know he didn't do that, obviously, in high school. And is that some way for him to kind of come up with a new routine of, hey, you're going to pitch out the bullpen right now. This is what you need to learn how to do, kind of get used to it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I'll take, like, responsibility for that. Like, there's no bigger believer in how good William Schmidt is and is going to be than Jay Johnson.
Right.
And so I kind of, like, hey, man, like, let's go. Like, we're pushing into this thing right away. We were up 7-4 against Missouri at home Saturday night, park's buzzing, like, here we go.
Yeah.
And he immediately came out and got a scoreless inning, a strikeout and a double play ball. We're out of it, gave up a homer, and then we went out and got him. But, you know, the other guys did the job, no big deal. And then it was just kind of early in the game on Saturday, and I felt like for us to win the series, we probably needed a couple quality innings out of him, and I liked it in that middle spot. And he came in and he got Flores to hit a ground ball, and then we were almost out of the inning.
Right.
And weren't able to do that. And then a very good veteran hitter hit a homer off him.
Right.
And then, you know, he lost the strike zone a little bit, which is natural. Literally, like last night, he's going to be like one of the best pitchers in the country.
Yep.
And he's one of the best pitchers on our team, in my opinion. So I literally just want to get him out there and get him experience to get better. You know, he only threw 21 pitches the other night. I wanted to get him, you know, a little bit of volume. I wanted to get him in out of the pen, as you say. I mean, he's going to be a starter here. So this is a little bit abnormal. And so, yeah, everything, there's a reason behind everything. And I wanted to get him back out there. And like I said, I mean, I'll take a little bit of it for him, of like, I just believe in him so much that I've kind of just forced him into right in the thick of it.
Yeah, and everything,
he'll be
everything we've heard about him is he's awesome. Like his makeup, it's like, hey, he goes out there, he gives up a grand slam, he comes back in, he's ready to go the next day, doesn't even remember it, which is an unbelievable quality to have as a pitcher.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm so thankful he's here. And he's one of those guys, I mean, teammates love him. We're all behind him. He's got all the talent in the world. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
We just need to get some seasoning. And, you know, something I think I may have mentioned this before, like, before I came here, like, I would always pay attention to whether it was Florida or Vanderbilt or, you know, how did they use these really high talented freshmen? And a lot of them, it was like kind of just bring them along, and then kind of, okay, now there's a time we're popping them into it. And I just believed in him so much. It's like, hey man, let's go, you know, kind of thing. And I think he will be better from this and will respond in a positive way based on what I know about him. And the guy's going to pitch as many big innings here over the next 3 years as anybody, and including this season.
Correct.
And he'll use, just like I talked about our team, he'll use that experience the other night and will be better for it.
Jared.
Yeah, Coach. Look, you got dudes that are playing well all over the diamond right now, in the outfield, all over the infield right now. But there's one guy that you keep putting in at certain points, and he continues to keep earning his stripes every time he gets an opportunity. How good does it make you feel that you have someone like Tanner Reeves on the bench?
Oh, yeah.
And how on earth are you able to keep him engaged, to keep coming, to keep showing up the way he does every time he gets an opportunity to?
Yeah. I love him. He's like one of my favorite guys that we've recruited here, and a really good player. And we have a lot of really good players. And so you're kind of working your way in, and he's got great self-awareness. I remember before the season we were meeting and talking, and he even said, like, I'm pretty self-aware with maybe where I'm at and where I stand right now on this team. And, you know, I'm going to keep working and do what I can to contribute. And he's got some maturity to like understand what's happening, what we're doing. And, you know, like last night we're playing, you know, maybe the best bunting team in college baseball, and you know, there's another left-handed pitcher, and we just hit a run of left-handed pitchers, and he's done well with his opportunities, and I never even think about, hey, if I'm playing him or I'm not, when I do play him again, is he going to be ready to go? And he's a big part of this thing, and will probably continue to be more of a big part of it as we go along, as the schedule neutralizes and flips back around. And he's doing great, and a huge contributor. And I love the way our lineup is when he's in there, man. And, there's a method behind all of it, and it just is what we're doing. And it's worked out well, I think, by playing both of those guys. If you put together what they're doing collectively, especially over the last 3 weeks, you would look at the third base position for LSU and go like, it's not Tommy White, but you're replacing Tommy White pretty darn good. The skills that both those guys are bringing to the table right now.
Might take two, but it's a pretty good two. Speaking of, obviously you have a plan for everything. I think that is very much known. And despite that, there has been some conjecture about your decision on, I believe it was Friday, because God forbid you go two pitchers between Cade Anderson and Zach Cowan to get a win. Do you have any thought behind of when you approach an SEC series, like, let me get the first one and then I'll take my chances with the next two, regardless of who I have?
Well, in terms of Friday, it was 4-2 when we finished the sixth inning. And then we got Zach up and going, and he was going in the game. And then it was 6-2.
Sorry for scoring.
And then we got a big hit with 2 out. Jared hit the ball backside and just to continue to take great at bats. And then at that point, it's like we have 9 outs to go.
Yep.
We put him in the game. He gets to 2 outs relatively quickly, and then we actually made an error. And then the pitch count got to like 25 or 26 after 1 inning. And we were kind of in this weird spot where if we pull him out, and then it doesn't work out, and then you got to go get somebody else. Now we've burned our 2 best guys in 1 game. And then the other thought is like, yeah, man, like Zach is probably one of our best guys along with Case and Evans. But like I would be not a very good coach to play for if I only had faith in 1 pitcher.
Right.
And so I went with Zach to finish the game. He did a great job. It's one of our best games of the season. And I got on the bus with full confidence that the other guys would get the job done. We didn't. And that's part of it. And so I didn't even really think twice about that. The only decision was, okay, the pitch count got to a weird place. And now if we score 4, let's say in the top of the 8th, maybe we're in a different deal. But we didn't.
Right.
We didn't. And so we made a decision and we won the game.
Yeah.
And then the next game, I had full confidence we had plenty to get it done. We just didn't do it.
Yeah, God forbid the fans realize, oh man, there's some thought that goes into this. Maybe like there's a reason, there's a reason behind why decisions are made. Like, hey, I'm not just gonna, hey, actually, boom, that guy's gonna throw today.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
Yeah, no, just whoever everybody
raise your hand
likes or thinks is a good person, we'll just throw them in
there.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to work right there. Yeah, no. No, but obviously we all talked about it. I was like, you get a win on Friday, especially when your 2 best guys throw, and then he was in there in rhythm. You keep him in there, and you just get there, and you have a full bullpen for the weekend. Exactly.
Well, keep in mind too. I think that was our 17th win in a row. So you're not making decisions to lose the next game when you won 17 in a row.
Right.
So that's
no, that's part. It's part of it. You're never going to please everybody.
God forbid I lose the hand of blackjack.
That's part of the game. I want to talk about another player on the team that's. I feel like you mentioned him last night after the game. You feel like he is progressing. The bat, I feel like I didn't really know what to expect. I don't recruit these guys like you do. I don't know what to expect coming in. I watched this swing, loved this swing. Aaron Beatty last night obviously hit 3 balls over 100 miles an hour. One off his face off the scoreboard, the other one down the line for a double. Swinging the bat really well. Feels like he's getting a lot more comfortable there. How do you like the progression of him? Obviously there's some work to be done a little bit behind the plate, but I feel like he has taken some strides. What do you feel like the progression is that he's made so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were getting a great player. It was a big deal for him to come to school, not go in the draft. The power, he's kind of always had that, but I'm just impressed with Cade as the hitter. Like the homer was great, but his at-bats after the homer was what I was really excited about and maybe showed me like he's really progressed in a positive way. I don't really know what his statistics are, but I feel like he's had some tough luck in hitting the ball hard at people.
Correct.
You know, so the last couple of games he's been there, he's just hit it over the fence where nobody can catch it, which I love that.
Do that more.
Yeah, and then but a clutch hit with 2 outs, 2-out RBI last night. Good walk in there. Thought he caught good again, which he has the last few times out. And I mean, it's a huge piece of what we're doing, you know, and really excited about the strides he's making.
Coach, I got a really in-depth one for you, but I kind of really need to know this. What do you go with when referring to Luis? You go with Luis, Papi, mi amigo? Which one do you go with?
Luis, for sure. Yeah.
So Poppy's the nickname apparently, right? Like that's what everybody's calling him. That's at least on LSU baseball social media is calling him.
Yeah, I don't look at social media that often. But I hear the guys call him that, and like he's a great player, huge offensive game on Friday. He's catching like a beast. But, like, I just love the person. Like, you can't have a great team if the person behind the plate is not a dude guy. Like, he has to be, like, a guy. I'm not talking about, like, a player, but he has to have everybody, like, in tune and loving his success. And I love seeing how happy our team gets when Luis succeeds and tells me everything I need to know about how those guys feel about him. And, man, what an addition for our team this year.
Coach, couple questions, couple more before you go. I know you got a lot of work to do tonight. Jaden Newt's been really good for you in the midweek. He's grinded through some up and down early starts, not bad starts, but like had to figure out, grind through it. Has done that, given you some length in the midweek. And then Maverick Rizzi, he's come in last few outings. He has been really good. It feels like he's kind of starting to feel how college baseball is and kind of getting his legs underneath him. Talk a little bit about those two guys and how important they're going to be for you down the stretch.
Yeah, huge. And, the talent is there with both of them. You can clearly see it. You know, they were well thought of. We had to, fight the draft with both of them. We just need to keep getting them out there. And that's part of why I make some of the pitching decisions that I make, in the midweek. It's like getting Maverick in the game the other night. I mean, it was good he got in that crazy game at Texas, even for a little bit, gave up a hit, then immediately responded, got the next 2 guys out, walked the first guy last night, and then got right back in the zone, had some punch outs, and, kind of got his stuff reined in. Like, that's a guy you look at, you see the talent, and he just needs to get a little closer to usable skill when the game matters. And, we've been able to get him in, and against Kansas State, against Texas, against Missouri. He was huge last Sunday against Missouri. And he's going to be great, and the same with Jaden. And what was great about last night is, he got us 3 innings on 42 pitches. So, a couple days off here, and then, should be ready for the back part of the weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I got one more for you, Coach, man. I don't know how I keep forgetting to ask about this, but each week he keeps showing up, and it's his ability to turn this thing over the way he's done it for you. How big has Stanfield been at the bottom of your lineup and playing center field? He's been awesome down there, huh?
Phenomenal. Game-changing. Like, just kind of like I talked about Luis. Like, you have to get the talent that you need, especially guys that are going to play in the middle of the field. He's an excellent defensive center fielder. I always liked him as a player. I felt like there was more in the tank offensively. There has been. We've seen that. Yep. It's more than just hitting. It's, how he takes at bats, moves the offense, sets the table, and when you got Derek and Jared and Danny coming up, like Chris is always on base. And so it's been phenomenal. And again, like I just said with Luis, like if you got a problem with Chris Stanfield, you're the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's what kind of dude he is. Yeah. And so I love him and really, really happy he's here.
Yeah, I love the he makes a diving play. He comes up with a lot of emotion. Love that about him. Right?
Oh,
Feels
not
like
you, Mikey.
Feel like he's kind of
the you. No way, Mikey. There's no way you like that.
Hey, you know what I realized? Like after like 2 years, they play this video like while we're doing infield and outfield, and you're making like a sweet diving catch on there. Have you seen that before?
Did I smash my face into the ground? Like
he goes to sleep. He goes to sleep to it every night still.
Okay, yeah, like Yeah, it's a nice catch, man. I didn't realize you could run like that.
Yeah, thank you. I used to be able to pick him up and put him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Coach, you have no idea how many times I've walked in on him watching MLB and
that's
watching
not-
his old homers.
That's not
Hey.
true.
Hey, if you got
No,
him.
that's. Hey, I'm with you. Like, I'll get caught up watching that. I think Jared, you're on the video too somewhere, and there's all the highlights from Omaha or Stephen Milam's homer against South Carolina, which I didn't see because I was kicked out of the gym.
Oh, you did it again?
I'm glad you said that. You got kicked out again. You got kicked
Oh
out.
man, God darn it! I was trying to get off here. without having- No, like I'll be honest. There's some
History.
path. Yeah, there was. Like, it was from the regional last year with the interference double play, a questionable strike zone and a miss on a check swing that were very instrumental in us not playing in the super regional last year. And unfortunately, I felt like he missed a check swing on the bunt, so I let him know that was the second check swing he missed, and he didn't like it. And then I said, "You know exactly what I'm talking about." And then I had to go back to the locker room.
It's all right.
I'm not letting this one live. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's okay. Look, it happens. Sometimes you gotta do it. You gotta let them know how you feel, and then you got.
As a coach, you're not supposed to have a very short memory, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team was like, what are you doing? Like, it's a bunt check swing in like the 8th inning. So like, I had to explain it to them, like, hey man, that was about last year. And the guy actually is a good umpire,
Yeah.
and he's an old Pac-12 guy, and I don't remember anything. Like, I don't know if I maybe yelled at him wrong or something at Arizona or something like that.
Hey, people don't forget, they hold grudges, but it's okay. Hopefully, y'all can have a orange juice together and figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe,
Oh,
or maybe not,
no.
or maybe not.
Keep that edge, Coach.
Coach, I know you got a lot of work to do. We appreciate you as always coming up on our show every week. Good luck this weekend. We'll be out there tomorrow night and Friday night and Saturday night. Obviously, the rain. I know you're the big rain guy, so hopefully you can do some rain dance and maneuver around the weather that's supposed to be there. It's Louisiana, may go away, but good luck this weekend, and we'll be watching.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yep, you too, Coach.
Hey.
Go study.
He tried to get, and honestly, I'm glad he brought it up because I forgot about
Me
it.
too.
I forgot to bring it up, but he brought it up, and I brought it up, and that was great. That was great. I'm glad we